This is The Breakdown. John and Will, Law of Polaris. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's skip the preambles. Let's get right into it. Texans at the Jets. Hey, look, I was excited that there were Saturday games, and then I looked at the lineups. Houston's 9-game winning streak snapped last week against the Colts. The Texans have a 2-game road trip against a very beatable Jets this Saturday, then the Eagles, then their home game against the Jags. They could easily win out. My concern is that Houston is really banged up in the secondary, but I'm pretty confident that Watson and company can handle things out there in New York. Browns at the Broncos. Denver, they snapped their 3-game win streak last week against the 49ers. Where Case Keenum was outplayed by Nick Mullins. I mean, they kind of need this game if they want any hopes for a playoff spot. The Broncos are away at Oakland next week, and then they have to play the Chargers week 17. I don't know. On the flip side, Baker Mayfield has the Browns looking like an actual team. The Browns look like on any given Sunday they can beat just about anybody. I mean, outside of that Texans game, Baker Mayfield has been looking flawless. A QBR of over 100 in 3 of the last 4 games. I think he leads the Browns to another victory here. Titans at the Giants. So Tennessee is on the bottom of this 4-way tie for 6th seed in the AFC. So they need as many wins as they can get, and they need some losses from Miami, Indy, or Baltimore. The Giants, they're 5-8, and I wouldn't automatically rule them out of any game right now. For the Titans, it's going to come down to the defense. They show up one week, and then they're nowhere to be found the next week. And for the Giants, it's going to be on offense. I mean, when Eli and Odell get rolling, when Saquon is on the run, they can beat just about anybody. And ultimately, it's going to come down to if the Titans defense can show up and shut down New York. I think the Giants, they're hot off of that beat down to the Redskins. I think they steal this game. I think they steal away the Titans' playoff hopes. I got the Giants winning in an upset. Tampa Bay at Baltimore. Now, the Ravens, they currently sit at the 6th seed. They lead this 4-way 7-6 tie. If the Ravens win out, they're in. They're in the playoff. The way things are going, they might actually win the AFC North. And the Ravens are finding a way to win despite Lamar Jackson. I mean, the dude can't throw the ball past 10 yards. When you look at that Chiefs game, the Chiefs game that the Ravens almost won, they did it basically just running the ball, short passes, running out the clock, shoving it down their throats. I mean, Lamar Jackson, he's the Black Tim Tebow. This Ravens team, that crazy defense, they make it work. They look exactly like the Broncos did when they went on that playoff run with Tebow. Now, I think Lamar Jackson's overall ceiling in the NFL is going to be way higher than Tebow, but right now in his rookie season, that's exactly what he looks like. Look, I got the Ravens spanking the Bucs and holding on to that 6th seed spot. Lions at the Bills. I'm going to be honest, I'm probably not going to watch this game. I don't even think I'm looking at the highlights. I don't care. Next. Green Bay at Chicago. Clinch week. Bears can clinch the NFC North here. Boy, did they make a statement last week against the Rams. They made the most dynamic offense in this conference look terrible. Now, going back, the Bears did lose that Week 1 game in Lambeau. They lost with Aaron Rodgers limping off the field and then coming back, and but that was Week 1. And these two teams look completely different in Week 15 than they did back in September. That front 7 for Chicago's defense is crazy. That secondary is amazing. Kyle Fuller has had an interception in each of the last 3 games. I got Chicago taking care of the Packers and clinching this division. And listen, neither the Rams or the Saints want to see Chicago in the playoffs. I got the Bears clinching and holding on to the 3rd seed. Now that means that if they win the wild card game, they go on the road to the 2nd seed. And it's going to be that they're going into Los Angeles or they're going into New Orleans. If I'm the Rams, this is the last team I want to see in the divisional round. Cowboys at the Colts. I love this matchup. Indianapolis is right on the heels of Baltimore. They're 7th team out in the AFC. Dallas, they basically clinched the NFC East if they win this game. I mean, yeah, Washington is still kind of alive, maybe sort of, but it's their division if they win this game. So both teams have a lot to play for, Indy more than Dallas. Now, with the Colts, they're going to live and die on Andrew Luck. All right, and now if you take away that shutout in Jacksonville, Luck has thrown 3 or more touchdowns in 3 of the last 4 games. Dallas, they rely on defense, crushing the opposing quarterback, holding on to the ball, running out the clock, and if Dallas defense can play Indianapolis like the Jaguars did, they can easily win this game. On the flip side, this young Indianapolis defense is pretty good too. Darius Leonard, Danico Autry, Jabal Sheard, they can keep this unit together. They're going to be amazing. They kind of look like Dallas. I think the Colts have a lot to look forward to, especially if Luck can stay healthy and they can keep this defense together. And look, if this defense can rattle Dak, who knows? Look at what Philly was able to do to Dak in the first half of that game last week. If the Eagles had any type of an offense, they would have been able to run away with the game in the first half. So, yeah, I think this is going to be an upset. I think the streak ends here for Dallas. They're still probably going to clinch the division, but I got Indianapolis winning this one at home. Low-scoring game. They're going to stay in the playoff hunt. Washington and Jacksonville. Not going to watch it. Yes, Washington is technically still alive. They might even beat Jacksonville, but Joe Johnson, Cody Kessler, I'm not excited. Miami at Minnesota, another matchup I love. Now, Miami is third place in that four-way tie for 6th seed in the AFC. Minnesota currently has the 6th seed in the NFC, but they could easily find themselves out of the playoffs if they take another loss. Ironically, no one's paying attention to Miami right now. They are sneaky good. They're 5th in pass defense, 13th against the run, 2nd in the league in interception. On the flip side, Ryan Tannehill isn't playing bad. 8 touchdowns to 1 interception in the last 3 games, 100-plus quarterback rating in all 3. I don't know. Vikings, they fired their offensive coordinator. They're kind of tanking it right now. Their offense was crushed in the last 2 games. I think Miami steals this one. I think they go into Minnesota and win. And I think people really start looking at Miami as a possible playoff contender. Arizona at Atlanta. I'm probably not going to watch this game either, but I'm definitely going to pay attention to it. Atlanta is done for the season. But look, you lose to Arizona at home. I think it's time you start firing people. Just like they did in Green Bay when they lost to Arizona. The Falcons got anything left, any kind of dignity. You got to beat Arizona at home. Raiders at the Bengals. Nope, not going to watch it. Not looking at the highlights. Seahawks at the Niners. Seattle doesn't officially clinch a playoff spot with a win here, but basically they clinch the 5th seed if they win here. I don't see any way Seattle loses this game against the Niners. Easy win. Seahawks have Kansas City and Arizona at home. They'll probably finish 10-6. They'll lock in that 5th seed. New England at Pittsburgh. Love it. Can't wait to see it. Huge game here. A lot of implications. A loss here for Pittsburgh can literally put them out of the playoffs. I mean, this could be the game that decides Mike Tomlin's future. Not only do the Steelers have to host New England, but next week they have to travel to New Orleans. They have to win this game. For the Patriots, they have this game, and then they got the Bills and the Jets. I mean, technically they can afford to lose this game. They'll still finish 11-5. They'll still win their division. They'll still probably even get a first-round bye. But a loss here, they can virtually kiss home field advantage goodbye. The Patriots have not won an AFC championship game on the road since 2004. Think about it. Bill Belichick, he knows this. He's not trying to travel to Kansas City in January. He wants that AFC championship game in Gillette Stadium. Listen, yeah, the Patriots, they dropped the game against the Dolphins last week. They do that every year. But December is when the Patriots turn it on. They'll turn it on. They'll beat the hell out of the Steelers. I don't think the Steelers are going to recover this season. I think they get beat here. They get beat in New Orleans. They finish 8-7-1, and they're watching the playoffs from home. Eagles at the Rams. Yeah, I did a whole video about how cool it would be if Nick Foles came in there and pulled off a miracle and underdog Max, get it ready, and no, it's a fantasy. It ain't happening. It is not happening. Especially how the Rams got beat down versus the Bears, how they got embarrassed. They're going to come back home. They're going to be angry. They're going to be hungry. They're going to be out for blood. They're going to be feasting on some eagle blood. It's going to be brutal. I got the Rams winning this one. Monday night, finally, the Saints at the Panthers. The Panthers, the greatest tragedy of 2018. They'll get killed at home against the Saints. They'll get killed in Week 17. Maybe the Panthers need to reevaluate their coaching staff, especially if they lose out and go 6-10, which is very, very possible. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Leave your comments. Make sure you subscribe. Yo, hit that bell so that you're notified whenever the video comes out. See you on the other side.